Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in for episode number 2 of our above ground pool assembly. A couple notes I want to touch on before we get resuming with the assembly of our pool, beginning with our deck sections on the top, is that, as much as I gripe about in-ground pools, they are a great entry-level way to get your feet wet, so to speak, into the swimming pool game, to decide if it's something you want. And if it is, you can always sell it to somebody else after you're done with it and recoup a little bit of your money for your new in-ground pool, or you just get rid of it altogether if it's not your thing. They are fully serviceable all the way around, so although the plumbing isn't quite up to par of an in-ground pool, you have full access to it, being that it's above ground, so it makes it easy to service, disassemble for winterization and things like that. And they're a pretty good value. This particular one we're doing runs about $3,000 delivered. Of course, you still got to do your site work and your assembly, which can run, $1,200 or $1,300 or more, depending on how much prep work you need for your site. So just a couple notes I wanted to put out there before we get going. But let's get back to it, guys. Now with those screws, they kind of got to break through and thread themselves.
Okay.
And once they do, they get easier to screw.
Okay.
But you really got to push on the end of the back of that screwdriver and get them going, and then they'll start to catch. So it's like hard, and then once that screw gets in, you'll start to see it get easier, and then it straightens out. So as you put these top deck pieces on, one thing we gotta make note of is that we don't want to completely and snug these down all the way, because there's going to be some adjustment where you may have to move these pillars back and forth in order to get all the holes to line up. Just make some slight adjustments. So by leaving these screws just a little bit loose until we get all these in all the way around, we're allowing for us to have that wiggle room for adjustment. Mark, what are you doing? We're not supposed to use drills around this thing.
Oh, it's okay. Just 2 little holes. It'll be all right.
This is what happens when you put the thing in backwards. You must get the drill out. Hey Ginger, remember the last time we tried to do a video about above ground pools?
I don't think we ever finished it, did we?
No, we didn't. It kind of ran amok. What's up, guys? It's Josh Voice from Swimming Pool Science, and because I'm the professional, I guess I'll do this so you don't have to. So here we go. Seriously, my Pro Tough Ultimate Series pool pole, you dumped it in this disgusting pool.
I can't even see it.
Get it out.
I can't even see it at the bottom.
Get it out. Easy peasy.
Lemon squeezy.
So we got a little ways to go yet before this thing fills up, because we got crappy water pressure, but right now I'm just going to get this area ready for equipment to go. So we'll set that up and kind of mock that in place. Luckily, we have a cartridge filter on here, so even if I get everything all set up, I still have the ability to move things around. Well, sorry about that, guys. The battery on the GoPro went dead, and I was busy, so I kept on plugging away. Here's what we had going on, though. I'll kind of take you through it from start to finish, from where we left off from the battery died until now. So the discharge on this pump was rotated 90 degrees over this way, so there was no way to properly attach it and get everything to work in terms of plumbing. So I had to basically disassemble the entire motor, or the entire pump rather, to rotate this 90 degrees and get it the discharge in the up position. And I just got the pump and the filter bolted down. I've got my outlet back to the pool here, my inlet into the filter from the pump right there. So we're gonna run one of those flex hoses from here over to there. And we'll come suction off of here from our skimmer. And then off of there over to our return. Luckily, this guy's light enough I can move it around easily and get it situated exactly where I want it to go. So one of the things that kind of drives me nuts plumbing in these systems is that, see all that play we have? We actually have just a little bit of play. It slides on pretty easy, but I don't like that play. I like something that slips on snugly. Either way, we'll make it work. My hose clamp here that's going to fasten this on. You always want to make sure, however you do that hose clamp, that you can easily re-access the bolt on the hose clamp so that it can be undone down the road. So I'm going to face this one out the side of the motor. Crank it down, get it pretty snug. That was good. Alrighty. So we got our equipment mocked up and ready to go. Once the water level gets higher, tomorrow we're going to put in our skimmer and our return. And at that point, we'll finish positioning the equipment and cutting everything so that everything's positioned exactly right. We may bring some more dirt in here to lift this up so that we can get a nice gentle S-bend. Right now, if I go with all this hose, I got all this hose hanging out to get in this return, but if I cut this hose down in half right here, I'm stretched and I have tight bends, and that's not good. So we're gonna do some maneuvering for tomorrow, get this thing in, and then finish this thing up. As we cut the skimmer hole, I want to do it from the back side so I can set the blade against the metal cutout in the wall and use that as a guide and cut this really precisely. There we go. Now this goes on the mouth of our skimmer first, and then we will put our actual skimmer on next because it'll give us something easy to bolt to. And yeah. Gasket slots in there nicely. Let's not forget our skimmer wear. I pre-attached my skimmer to my suction hose with a hose clamp. Rear goes in, easy peasy. Now I just need my screwdriver. going to put a little bit of joint compound on seal where this fitting attaches to my return eyeball, just to make sure we don't have any leaks. In a case like this, where it's a relatively low water pressure environment, Teflon tape would even work on here, but I prefer my joint stick. This O-ring goes on here like this. We just go hand tight snug on this. Hey Mark, we can start filling it back up now. My return eyeball, because I don't have a main drain on this pool, I'm gonna angle it down and to the side so that that water up high gets pushed downward and in a circular motion to make sure we get full circulation on this water. So we had another little goof up here. Once again, I'm making the mistake so you don't have to. You cannot access the top and bottom screw holes to attach the skimmer to the mouth once this is attached to the pool. So the mouth of the skimmer has to be attached to the skimmer itself before you can attach the whole thing for the pool. So I'm undoing it. I'm gonna fix that right now. So we got the skimmer back off. There are our top holes, and there are our bottom holes. So we'll get screws in those, we'll get it fixed, we'll be back on the road again. All right, well, while we're waiting for this thing to fill up, I'm gonna go ahead and test the water, and it's gonna give me a good idea of what the source water is. I know my volume is about 5,500 gallons on this pool, and I know I want my cyanuric acid up between 20 to 40 parts per million on this. We want to keep our chlorine 2 to 4 parts per million. pH right around that 7.4, alkalinity close to 100, and calcium just above 200. I can keep it pretty low because we don't have any calcium-based products in this pool that'll get eaten away or leached into the water. So that's what I'm gonna do now, and then once it's full, we'll fire it up. You know, when they send crappy chintzy parts that suck and don't work no matter what you do, just subpar garbage. Our equipment right now is leaking like a sieve because of this garbage junk, these stupid brand X fittings. The only ones that aren't leaking on me are these Hayward ones. So now I'm gonna have to order separately the Hayward, the SPX 1091 Z4s. I'll post a link in the description so you can find those if this is something you're working on, but those are working great. These brand X piece of craps, you know, I might as well not even have the hose clamps on there, just spewing and leaking. All right, now we got the right parts. We can do this right. Yes. All right, so here's the difference between the leaking piece of crap we took out and our new Hayward part. You can see the difference in that Hayward part's got a nice barb on the end of it. This has got a extra adapter piece that shrinks down. Somebody told me to put Teflon tape on here and double up on the hose clamps, but that sounds like Mickey Mouse stuff to me. I'd rather do it right the first time, so we're sticking with the Hayward parts. All right, we are up on water level. Not a leak in sight, thanks to our Hayward fittings. We are ready to go. CJ, plug that into our GFCI protected outlet, mi amigo.
I'm trying to.
There we go, she's running. Running good. There it is.
It's finally working.
Yeah, there it is. All right. This one's done. All right, guys, well, that is a wrap. This above ground pool is done and over with, rocking and rolling, ready to enjoy. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. You found it informative. We'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to hit the like button. Please subscribe. And hey, if you found this informative, definitely hit that share button. All right, guys, now to go deal with these. I'm gonna show you what the Manny kick is. Sweet.